Welcome, Star Wars fans. Here we talk about all things Star Wars with rumors, facts, news, and random shenanigans. Get ready and strap into your Millennium Falcon. This is the Force Choke Podcast.
All right, hello. The council would like to welcome everyone to episode 57 of the Force Choke Podcast. We got
Sarah.
We got
Stephanie.
It's about right. All right, and
Micah.
Ooh, very deep voice. I'm gonna do the rest of this intro in a deep voice.
Yeah,
we want to give our gracious host at Comic Plus, located at Everhart Crossing Shopping Center, 5139 Everhart Rd, Corpus Christi, Texas, 78411. A big thank you for hosting us here to do episode 55 of the Force Choke Podcast. We'll be doing some great giveaways today, so stop on by to Comics Plus. All right, Council, let's get right into it on this Triple Force Friday. Sarah, what's first on the books?
Friday.
On the books. So Disney CEO Bob Iger's memoir reveals how George Lucas felt betrayed by Disney's approach to the sequels.
Ouch.
Yes.
Memoir.
Yeah. So he wrote a book. He wrote a book before he died about his memoirs.
Well, I
don't get that.
I think it's a memoir before you die and a biography after you die.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I get it.
Yes.
But it'd be really sketchy if it was an autobiography after he died.
Wait, that would just be wrong, right?
Oh.
So George Lucas, after he sold off Star Wars, apparently he got really upset because he heard the description with how they were going to move forward with Star Wars, and I guess initially, and from what we're hearing now more and more, is that George Lucas really had a story for 7, 8, and 9, a loose story like this is what's going to happen, and he presented it to Disney, and they were like, "Oh, thanks, we'll take that," and kind of like threw it out with the bathroom, the garbage,
with the bathwater.
Yeah, there you go. And so,
just came to me
with the bathwater.
Bathwater
with a baby too,
and the baby.
Jesus, what?
Wow.
That's not
finito.
Incredible, right? So, from what Bob Iger was saying in his memoir, it said that in George's eyes, it dawned on him that they weren't going to use one of the stories he submitted during the negotiations at the negotiation table. And it says here, going on, that ironically, George Lucas is on record saying that he really liked The Last Jedi. Maybe because it followed his original outline more closely than The Force Awakens did. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? George Lucas really liked The Last Jedi.
How do you go from being upset, being betrayed, not liking the first movie that's being produced, Episode 7, to really liking 8 when there's a huge dissension between fans?
Yeah.
Maybe he said that to kind of like, what's that term? Gaslight? To piss him off. It's
okay.
It's like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm betrayed. Oh yeah, this one was really great. Like
because these guys
going
didn't
that direction.
Like it.
So it's kind of like you took my, it's like you took my idea and you screwed it up. So now let people know, like, it's you fools that destroyed the storyline. I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, then again, we don't know what his original idea was it? Or doing?
I don't think so. I mean, I would really like to hear what exactly his idea or kind of outline of what Episode 7 would have looked like. You know what I mean?
Because I remember they had, like, I think loose scripts online, but I don't know if they're real or not.
Yeah.
But it had something to do with, like, it began with Luke became so, like, drunk with power that he eventually was maybe not fully, like, dark side, but he was dark or whatever.
Okay.
And that was, like, him, like, this was, the story was him trying to come back to the fold or something.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if that's real. I remember seeing something about that.
Man, I don't remember seeing that, but that would have been kind of cool, getting that drunk with power. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're supposed to be, some, Billy Badass, like, oh, and I'm gonna make more Jedi. I don't know.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Sarah?
I don't know.
If you were George Lucas, and you've had this property, it was your baby since...
I mean, if I was George Lucas, I wouldn't have sold out.
Say it. I couldn't
I wouldn't
hear.
have sold out.
So George Lucas sold out. Do you think he?
Well, because you can't just like sell it and be like, "Hey, these are my ideas," and then be pissed off when they're like, "No,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter." Like,
Yeah. You're no longer involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask y'all this. Okay, so I think he sold it because he wanted to make those movies. Mm-hmm. But I don't know with his age if he was up to that task. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think he figured, Disney, they've got a great crew. They got, all kinds of people to work on this thing. And I believe that to really be honest, I think that he thought, I'm George Lucas. I'm going to sell it to him. I'm going to give him my idea, and they'll run with that idea. Yeah. And they're going to put other stuff in there, but they're going to run with what I have. Because I'm the creator of this thing. Yeah. And it just did not go that way.
He should have paid attention to the contract negotiations. And, well, I think
the negotiations were short.
I think I'm close. This deal's getting worse all the time. No, I think I'm closer to where you sit with it, Lewis, because he sold out. What, $4.1 billion, but then he donated $4 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what I'm saying by that is that I feel like he kind of gave it to Disney so they can at least helm it to continue the story.
Yeah.
But also understanding as soon as you lose control of it, that they're going to do whatever they want to with it. But also to say that maybe they kind of just, bro, I made this. At least take my creative direction with it.
I'm not saying sold out for the money. He was just like, here's this. I wash my hands of it. Oh, but wait. Yeah. I want you to still listen to me. That's not how that's going to work.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah. And who knows if how you doing? Who knows if what he was thinking at the time. That's talk. I don't want to say it this way, but talk about being drunk on power, to stealing your words there. In a way, it's like, wow,
unlimited power.
He's like, I have the power in my hands for control of Star Wars. That being the power, and he gave it over, and I think he really thought he was going to be an integral part of this whole thing moving forward, especially on where his characters were going to go and grow to and become and all that stuff. So,
but instead, Disney was like, "Cool, thanks, bye."
Yeah. They're like, "We bought it. It's mine."
Because I remember there's reports when they were doing Episode 7, like he was like trying to give some direction or at least some creative thought on the set of Episode 7.
Yeah.
And he felt like he was being ignored. Mm-hmm. So he eventually just like, peace kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as much as that sucks and everything, I grew up with the prequels. I don't have to say it, but I enjoy the prequels. They are Star Wars. Mm-hmm. But I think we can definitely tell that there is a difference between the originals and the prequels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some would even argue that the prequels are almost more so, at least in the beginning, closer to trying to connect with children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or to at least the younger audience. So what is that to mean if he was trying to go that direction again with the sequels?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Because at that point they've already had some success in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the MCU had been completely alive for that long.
No,
Iron Man was out by that time.
Like 2008.
But I think they had a general direction, like like obviously they're not going to go our content, but they're going to want a content that like right in the middle that everyone can feed from.
Yeah.
And I feel like Disney had the direction. Were they honest about it or not through the contract negotiations? That's one thing.
Yeah.
But of course, if it's not in that black and white, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think he just took it upon his own self to think.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen,
Possible.
Wow. Well, I wanted to ask y'all this question. So the big question is, the next big Star Wars release, quote unquote, will be The Mandalorian, which comes out before the Rise of Skywalker, and it's coming out on Disney Plus November 12th. Mm-hmm. And of course, then The Rise of Skywalker comes out on December 20th, depending on you get early tickets or not, the 19th. Do you guys think George Lucas is going to be a fan of The Mandalorian or the Rise of Skywalker? And let me present that in a better way. So, do you think George Lucas is going to like The Mandalorian better or The Rise of Skywalker better? Just from what you've seen of the trailers of both right now.
I have my answer. Do you want to go with it first? Or do you want me to?
You go.
Probably The Mandalorian. I feel like that in itself is more closely connected to the originals. Mm-hmm. He's been on the set of The Mandalorian.
That's right. I forgot. He has a
stronger connection to some of the people, working that. Mm-hmm. If he had an issue with Episode 7, he had an issue with J.J. Abrams and his direction of Episode 7. He's probably not going to be as inclined for his direction for Episode 9. Mm-hmm. Especially, people can take it either way. Either you're probably going to either really like it or really hate it. But with the whole comment from J.J. Abrams saying, I just took it and said F it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel if anything, George Lucas will probably turn around. And if you had to, put a gun in my head and say which one is he going to like better, probably be closer to The Mandalorian, to his original story. Yeah. But then again, it's like they're both, even though he wrote the rights away, they're still his children, It's kind of like that son who's a failure.
Oh no!
Sorry, Mom and Dad. But it's like, that's our boy.
Oh, you got another facial tattoo.
How wonderful! That's your 67th piercing on the left side of your face.
Oh man! Wow.
But if I had to choose one or the other, obviously.
I'll make it easier for you, Sarah. Okay. You don't have to put yourself in George Lucas's shoes.
Are you gonna pay for Disney Plus or not?
Oh God!
Don't put her on the spot.
I know.
No, but I'll put you on the spot.
Oh, okay.
Do you think you're gonna like The Mandalorian better or The Rise of Skywalker better? Geez. Just from the trailers, just what we've seen. We've seen pictures, seen trailers. Both of them seem to have kind of like cliffhanger / great moments in each. Just from what we see right now, what do you think you're gonna like better?
I think if the trailer for Rise of Skywalker is inaccurate in the ending, what I'm saying, that part, I'll like Rise of Skywalker better.
Okay.
Very good. You're saying...
Well, I need to see the...
So are you petitioning to Lucasfilm right now saying, make sure Dark Ray is not Dark Ray, and then I'll say...
Well, she can be dark for a minute and, break our hearts, and then just be like, just kidding. And,
just kidding.
And then,
I'm really
do
good.
some betrayal of
I love it from the start.
Stuff and get the job done.
Yeah.
So I just
not on board. Not on board.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm thinking I really enjoy the movies, so I think The Rise of Skywalker, but we'll have to see what The Mandalorian. This is the first series from Star Wars, so we'll have to see what they do. But and we have a segment later on called Journey to the Mandalorian, which we're going to be talking. I did a interview with Taika Waititi, and I did one with Bill Burr. So we're going to be hearing from both of them today in my short interviews with them. I thank them for spending some time with the Force Choke podcast, just to give us some insight on how they're doing with The Mandalorian. So the next thing, I know y'all talked a little bit about Galaxy's Edge in the Disney parks a couple episodes ago that I didn't get to make it to. But for what we're hearing now, that it's been open for a little while, is that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is suffering from low attendance. Yeah, what do you guys think is the main reason for their low attendance? You know what I mean? We got a couple of things here that we can talk about, but right off the top, what do you guys think?
Well, last time we talked about it, they only had one attraction open, and it was still full price tickets.
Mm-hmm. Still full price tickets. They're charging more in peak seasons. Mm-hmm. But even
for one
then,
thing, so
yeah. It's kind of like if you're going to sit there and tell people, like, hey, we're going to charge you so much money, and they're probably going to be like, okay. Well, it's kind of like the idea, like, if you're going to throttle me on Disney Plus by only giving me one episode of The Mandalorian each week, should they not go in a different direction, then maybe I'll just wait the 8, 9, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it takes that the whole thing is there, and then I'll take care of it. So, yeah, it's kind of like, if you're going to make me spend a lot of money, I'm going to get more bang for my buck. Yeah. I'll wait. Save more money, maybe do something else, and then a year or two after that, there's 5 rides now. Okay, then I'm willing to spend that much money.
Yeah, they should have waited, built more hype, and then opened it when they had more stuff. Because I mean, even like talking on a smaller scale locally, the Schlitterbahn here was losing money because they only had like 3 things open in like the beginning.
Yeah.
And their hotel wasn't open, so they didn't get that revenue.
On that, from some of the notes that we put here, so y'all hit on that. Galaxy's Edge isn't even complete yet. It only has 1 ride and is having major issues and setbacks with its next attraction, which is called Rise of the Resistance. So one of the things that they're trying to combat their low attendance with is discounting pricing and aggressive marketing. And I think, was it you, Micah, or was it Tim that saw an ad on was it you that saw an ad for Galaxy's Edge? And you were like,
I know I talked to you about it.
Right?
It's like I never it's like I never saw it before. I think I might have been watching football that day. And within the time of watching football through, I guess, a couple hours, I had seen it a few times. I'm like, is this just... I mean, I don't watch TV anymore.
Yeah.
Like, short of streaming things. So I'm like, has this been there? Or am I just now seeing it?
Yeah.
Like, is it just now prevalent to everyone that, there actually is, in fact, a Galaxy's Edge that you should go spend your life savings for?
Yeah.
On 1 ride.
For a day.
So you guys are feeling that... And I think y'all talked about the actual numbers. And could it be that Disney's... The fans are feeling like they're being taken advantage of because Disney is jacking up ticket prices to this thing, and maybe that they feel like, hey, it's Star Wars, people are going to show up anyways, and maybe that's just not working for them. And from what I'm hearing is that the president of Disney Parks West side was terminated, and
West Side.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that the president of the Disney parks was terminated, and the position is now completely gone. There is no position.
Well, I'm good with that because I think bureaucracy is BS. Do we need this thing? No, throw it away.
And some insiders are also saying that Disney has said they may rebrand their Disney or their Star Wars attractions if things don't pick up by early next year.
Rebrand into...
So does that mean they're going to scrap it and or do something different with it?
Well, they're just... If they do that, they would just be investing more money, spending more time. They should just fully commit to the park that they have, maybe shut it down for a little bit, and then reopen with actual worthwhile attractions. That just seems like they'd be spending a lot more money with no guarantee that people are even going to show up after that anyway.
Yeah.
As well,
What do you think, Micah? You look like you got to get something out.
It just seems like lunacy that
dumb.
you're trying to offload the idea of having a Star Wars park, having 1 ride, charging you full price,
we're done.
and expecting high attendance.
Yeah.
Like that's just it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's kind of like I think what you were saying, Lewis, is are they getting the idea that the people, the fandom, whomever would want to even enjoy this, are finally coming to the realization that they were being ripped off, that their money is being siphoned from them because Disney has become out of its means too much that it's getting away from its original idea.
Yeah.
I think it's... Look, I get that they want to make money.
Yeah.
I get that. It's a business. That's the whole reason for being there for the most part.
To open a business. Yeah, right?
You want to make money.
Yeah.
But you also, too, want to make it available. Of course you can't make it available to everyone, or you might be bleeding money. But to sit there and have the idea that you're going to turn around and open a park and tell people this park is open, be like, okay, what do you have to offer me? We have a bunch of cool, cosplay, and you can take pictures. What else? Well, we have a ride.
Yeah.
You have a ride?
Yeah.
Yes, we have 1 ride. Okay, I'll come back next year. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. If you're going to sit there and turn the time and say, we're going to do this park. It's going to be, open in 3 years. And in that 3-year time frame, you've only given us one thing, of which it probably even costs more money just to do that. It's...
Or time, right? I've heard that some of the waiting, even with the, what is that, Fast Pass? Some of the waiting has been like 3 or 4 hours.
It's just
ouch.
for them, for this to be a
ridiculous.
business model, for them to make money, they're making a bad decision to sit there and try to sell an overpriced thing to people who are already having problems affording it, and to tell them that it's worth it for one ride. It's dumb. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And for one, as hard as this may be for me to say this, because I would really like to go to this thing someday, whether it's with the current job I have, whether I make money, with investments, I can just easily spend the money. Either way, I would like to see this one day.
Yeah.
And obviously, at that point, regardless of the money I spend, I would like to actually be multiple attractions versus just one thing.
Yeah.
But even then, don't sit there and try to tell me that it's worth it. One versus say 5 rides, and if this is what it takes, for them to rebrand, to try to come up with the idea like we should have more than just one thing, we shouldn't be selling full price, then I'm willing to let this thing submarine for a second.
Yeah.
Because if that's their idea going forward, like at this point, who's to say what happens in 5 years or in 10 years when Star Wars will really have been taken off with the TV shows, getting back into the movies, and everything else that they own?
Yeah. And this is maybe why Bob Iger was like, hey, we need to slow Star Wars down a little bit. You know what I mean? Some of the other notes that I have on here, with the release of The Last Jedi, everything Star Wars has been on the decline, which is proven simply by reading. Hey, did you buy some?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want a prize?
Do I want a prize?
Yeah, you want a prize. So we got 2 movie tickets to Alamo Drafthouse. What's your name?
Paul.
Paul, nice to meet you. So we got Alamo Drafthouse tickets. We got some Star Wars memorabilia here. So what would you be interested in? I think what else we got? We got some action figures, stuff like that. We got this custom tumbler over here.
Movie?
I'm sorry?
Movie tickets?
You want movie tickets? All right. So 2 movie tickets to Alamo Drafthouse. So you can use those at your leisure.
Okay.
So, thanks for stopping by. You can stick around and we're going to be talking Star Wars. If you want to interject.
I'm listening to what y'all talking about Star Wars. So
Yeah.
I've like a lot of speculation, like what's going on with the Force Awakens, and
Yeah.
it just hopefully it's a better movie than the last one.
Yeah.
And then as far as y'all talking about the Mandalorian, and I think that's going to be a really awesome series.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Just the trailer alone
it
got.
has that old vintage look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little Western kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my son was saying. It looked like a Western space odyssey, deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, are you more excited for The Mandalorian or for The Rise of Skywalker?
I'm more excited for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It's just that the last one I lost. I was like, what? It had some good scenes in it, but
You felt kind of.
it threw me. Maybe it's because the director.
Could be. We've talked
how they
about that,
went in
right?
that direction. I don't know. And then bringing back J.J. Abrams into the mix, back into Force Awakens, or what is it?
Yeah.
This new one,
The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, he did The Force Awakens. How did you like The Force Awakens?
It had that vintage
That feel.
feel.
You're like, it felt like Star Wars.
Yeah, it felt like Star Wars. Felt like kind of remembering like New Hope and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the prequels, so part 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay.
Didn't care for them. I always argue with my friend about Skywalker, Anakin.
Uh huh.
They talked about he was supposed to be the best pilot in the
Oh
universe.
yes.
Right. That didn't show me nothing in the prequels. He just got on
The pod racer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got on a pod racer. It's like driving a go-kart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just like driving. And then the Naboo starfighter, that was on autopilot for half the time, and finally gets a hold of it, and then it wasn't. They didn't show me nothing. That it was a great story. They I think they did it wrong.
Yeah.
But
so you see, it feels like you're more of an original, original series, as opposed to the sequel, the prequels and the sequels.
Yeah.
So are right now we're talking about Galaxy's Edge, the theme parks in Florida and California that they opened up. Is that something that you're interested in?
Yeah.
Would you go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Going to Florida,
Yeah. And we're talking about that right now they're suffering from low attendance, and they're thinking of if they don't get by next year, early next year, which we're getting close to, because right now as we do this, we're October.
Mm-hmm.
So by early next year, if their attendance is not back up, they're thinking of rebranding the whole thing.
Oh wow.
So you better go soon.
Wow.
Now, how do you feel about that? I mean, it sounds like you're a Star Wars fan.
Big time, yeah. Since I was a kid.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel? Hearing something like they made this big old thing.
Yeah.
And now
I'm so excited because I told my wife, and the kids, we should go back to Florida and check out that little theme park. Galaxy Edge, and it looks so. I don't know. It just looks nice.
It looks real, right?
It's real. Just wow. Just want to experience it, with my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
My wife's not so much of a sci-fi, movie, but she'll go and watch it.
Yeah.
But I would like to go see it, hopefully soon.
Yeah. You never know, because if they did rebrand it to something else, whether it's something that's newer or I think that would get a lot of Star Wars fans.
Why though?
And that's what we've been talking about. Some of the things that we talked about were, Disney jacked up some of their prices. You know what I mean? Right when they opened, the prices skyrocketed. Another thing was, are they feeling like, hey, it's Star Wars, people are gonna come. We'll put it out. They're gonna come. You know what I mean? Another thing was it's not even. It has one ride. The rest is shops to buy stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, I gotta wait.
What ride is that?
It's the Millennium Falcon ride.
Oh, okay.
Where you get in the cockpit and
like a simulator.
Yeah, kind of thing. And I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah.
But even with the Fast Pass, what I'm hearing is 4-hour wait. And so the rest of the time, after you do that, before and after you do that, all you're doing is buying stuff. Whether it's food, toys, memorabilia. And of course, you're walking around and people are dressed in Star Wars stuff, but it's like one ride and it's like, man, I paid all this money for one ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wonder if people that have gone, they're like, hey, it was great, it was fun. I don't know if I'm going to...
I think that's what's happening. Since everybody's like a huge Star Wars fan, I think, okay, everybody's going to come. But yeah, they jacked up the prices on it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to go.
Yeah, that's what Micah brought that up. And then you brought up the, the whole, hey, it's Star Wars, everybody's going to show up.
Yeah.
Maybe not. You know what I mean? I love Star Wars too. I've been watching it like you since I was a kid. And well, you too, Sarah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they're different age ranges. And, but all of us have been watching it since we were kids, you know what I mean? And we all want to go to it, but it's like, wait, how much?
Yeah.
And then...
for a ride that you may not even get on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so the other thing is they're going to be making a Star Wars hotel, from what I'm hearing, right? But one night stay, over $1,000.
Oh no.
One night. So it's like, these things are great, but like regular working people, are they going to be able to afford this? It almost feels like the Jurassic Park lawyer Gennaro.
We need a coupon day.
Right? We'll have a coupon day, and it's
outrageous.
So maybe they need to restructure the way that because they're going to make the money.
Yeah, no matter what.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A couple of podcasts ago, like 3 podcasts ago, these guys were talking about the average price from when they first opened Disney to where it is now. And I think y'all were talking about for a one-day ticket I forgot how much it was. But
500%.
Yeah, it actually should be to get into a Disney park right now from, price inflation from back then to now should be about, what did y'all say, about $25?
Accounting for inflation, I think we estimated that like a ticket at Disneyland in California was closer to $20-$30, and now for a one-day thing it's closer to I think like $120.
Yeah, so it should be with inflation prices around $30 for you to get in.
For one day.
For one day, as opposed to the 100 or whatever that it is.
And of course, this is beginning Disney though.
Yeah. What was your name again? Paul. I'm going to ask you. So, the official rumor, right? Here at the Force Choke Podcast, we have what's called official rumors. Right? It's official, but it's a rumor. Kathleen Kennedy, who's president in charge of Star Wars right now, the official rumor is she's pursuing a new era in Star Wars storytelling. So, how does that make you feel as a Star Wars fan? And you guys too, because a new era, what does that mean? Way in the future? In the past?
I like to see the old Republic.
And there's been a conversation that I don't know who's going to do it yet, but that somewhere, is this approved or is it an official rumor still?
It's still an official rumor, man.
Okay. To my knowledge, that they're at the very least discussing going into the Knights of the Old Republic type thing. I don't know if they ever confirmed it was supposed to be like a movie trilogy, or if they're going to continue on with like a TV series with them opening up the new streaming platform, Disney Plus. But that they were supposed to be delving into that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I think, do you watch Game of Thrones at all?
No.
No, that's fine.
I wanted to, but I never got to.
Yeah.
It was really too late, so this last season.
You're like,
let's watch the first season. You didn't see the other seasons?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all right, you're right.
So they tapped, was it the two, writers, or?
Yes, the two directors.
The directors?
Directors and / writers.
Okay, directors, that's right. So they're going to do a trilogy of their own, but they did say they're not going to do it. And then the one who did Episode 8, The Last Jedi, he's supposed to have his own trilogy. It should not be Knights of the Old Republic, but we're supposed to get it.
Right.
Hopefully.
I felt like when I was watching, was it Force Awakens, when that little kid, when they released that little kid, the little
broom kid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That felt like that he was going to be into the new trilogy, or whatever it was going to be, Because I heard something about that. That's
that could be a possibility.
After this movie comes out, Skywalker, Rise of the Skywalker.
Yeah.
After this, they're going to
branch off. Yeah. To another
trilogy.
Yeah. And so with the guys from D&D, which they call them, from the director writers from Game of Thrones, they're going to have their own trilogy. Rian Johnson from The Last Jedi, he's supposed to get his own movie trilogy, which is going to be two separate stories, is what we're hearing.
Which could make sense if they do that. Because he's the one who did Episode 8 with the Broom Kid.
Yeah.
So what if he did that? That was his segue
into making his own thing, And so the official rumor that we're talking about, Kathleen Kennedy is pursuing a new era in Star Wars storytelling. So the big thing that we've heard from this official rumor is that Kevin Feige, who is in charge of the MCU cinematic universe, that him and Kathleen Kennedy are going to get together to make some Star Wars films. So
I'm pretty excited about that.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, of course, Stanley was helping him out. Yeah, Stanley was helping him out create this cinematic universe, but he was part of that. You know what I mean? So maybe he can have, and Micah just said it, Kevin
Feige.
Yeah, go ahead, say it again, man.
Oh, he's actually a bigger fan of Star Wars too. Like, there's been interviews where they've had the books, and he's telling us everything from the books and the collection and whatnot, growing up as a kid, and that at one point in time it looked as if he might not be moving forward in the MCU semi early on, and there was conversation at that point, would he go off to Star Wars? So I mean, the success he's had with the MCU, it'd be really nice to see what he offers, even if it's just a standalone film.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to see what kind of direction he has to offer. And then maybe that's a way to pull away from the MCU into Star
Could be.
Wars. Because, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we kind of discussed, like the Galaxy's Edge, and it's a business. It wants to make money. But if they have success with these movies, they're going to keep on doing it for a long time. And I know part of the conversation now is that there will be a bit of a gap for the movies-wise, just because they've had backlash from fans, beginning with Episode 8, The Last Jedi, and then that, unfortunately turned into the Han Solo movie.
Did you like Paul? Did you like the Han Solo movie?
I liked the Solo movie, but the actor wasn't the right
dude.
He was the right, not the right fit.
There was a character. There was an actor. I think he was in the movie Mandalorian something with Harrison Ford.
I don't know. I don't know if I've seen that one.
He looked like Harrison Ford.
Okay. Well, he's checking that out, Sarah. How do you feel about Kevin Feige?
Feige.
Faja? Maja Faja?
Feige.
Feige?
I don't know.
I can't do it.
I'm going to send
What's
this
he
to
done
him and
before?
hope he comes and ridicules you in person.
The entire MCU cinematic universe.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Right?
What did you say?
What has he done?
Kevin.
He's like the head of everything with... Okay,
Really?
obviously he's not the... I don't think he's a Marvel CEO, but he has like all the creative direction. He's the one who's been working with Sony to get Spider-Man back and stuff.
Okay, we like him.
He's
We like him.
Is that
I'm a
check
fan.
mark?
That's a check on the Kevin Feige
He's
box.
had
Feige?
Jesus, people.
Feige? Feige.
Say it again.
Feige.
Feige.
What did I say?
He's had creative direction over everything since the beginning, to my knowledge.
Feige. That is exciting.
This podcast is over.
We have derailed. But so your check mark off.
I'm checking him off.
Okay.
Yes.
And
He's A-okay with me. Except he killed
His
Toby.
name is Anthony Ingruber.
Anthony
He
Ingruber.
did like a couple of Harrison Ford's.
I think I've seen some of his videos like that.
Never heard of Millennium Falcon. It's a ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
That's weird.
Yeah, right. He even sounds like him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
I thought he would have been a good actor.
Yeah.
Han Solo.
A young Han Solo, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's
Weird.
to see somebody sound and look like him.
No joke.
Yeah, he does a lot of impressions of a lot of actors. Sean Connery. He does the Joker impression.
Yeah. So let's say, they didn't go with him, right?
Right.
So other than that, you were good with the Han Solo movie?
Yeah. I like how they first met, me and him.
Yeah.
I thought it was, that was just like, wow, that's just awesome, just classic, just.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then his background, how he was for fighting for the Empire.
Yes.
And one bit, and then just wanted to get out.
Yeah.
Went on his own. And I like the movie.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
A lot of critics deemed it as a failure, right? And when we all went as a group to go watch it, when we were leaving, I was walking out next to my wife and that's not my wife. My wife was over here, and Micah, and I leaned over to Micah here and I said, "Man, that was a good movie." And what I really look for in a Star Wars movie is when it's over, I just tell myself, wow, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. You know what I mean? It was fun to watch that. You know, so and that's how I felt. You know, with Han Solo, and I really think they were gonna make another one because the actor that signed up, Alden Ehrenreich, he's actually signed on for 3 Star Wars films in his contract. So I don't know if they're gonna come back to that later on in the future, or maybe he'll have his own.
Another standalone movie they made, Star Wars.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing. That was an amazing movie too. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of Disney Plus, right? Well, Cassian Andor, I don't know if you've heard, is going to get his own series in about a year or 2.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I
on the
think so,
Disney Plus
2020,
service,
expected.
right?
Or 2021, sorry.
Yeah. So that may be, Mandalorian comes out and his series, his first season ends, and then you might get Cassian Andor to kind of fill in that time space. Right. So that was, I mean, he's an amazing actor. It's going to be awesome to see what his character was like, before meeting Jyn Erso and all that. Yeah. Because he did mention, in Rogue One, I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old. You don't know what I've done to get to this point in my life. So that may make for a really interesting character. You know what I mean? Supposedly good guy. He's with the rebellion. Yeah. But he looks like
first time we see him on screen.
It
seems like he kills some man in cold blood.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
yeah, exactly. So I'm really looking forward to that one as well.
Absolutely.
So.
Do y'all think the Emperor's gonna come out on this next new Star Wars?
Sarah?
Right.
Sounds like she has something to say.
No, it looks like
I'm
she's
looking at him.
staring at me. Mm-hmm. Yes. I think we're going to get to see him.
Do you think it's a clone? Or he's into another
form?
Another body, another...
Vessel.
Yeah.
Supernatural.
While you do that, I'm going to take care of this. Hey,
oh, yeah. Okay. In the video game, they had a video game. I think it came out 2 years ago. Battlefront 2.
Right.
And in part of the storyline, he had a vault, and I'm sure he has vaults all over the place where hidden artifacts or whatever, maybe Sith related or otherwise. But having said that, I think somehow or another he will be alive. Like, he transferred his consciousness, partly going back to Legends, how he did have clones to stay alive, right, Lois?
Yes.
You can help me with that.
He had about 13 clones, prepared in case of, more mortal wounds to him, or, he was going to perish. So.
And that's not canon, but they can still pull from that. So I think somehow they're going to work some kind of way where... Because in the trailer for Episode 9, we see it looks like they're going to the ruins of the Death Star, potentially on Endor. So I think there's going to be something there somehow or another. Maybe his consciousness went to an object or is closed behind a vault or something. They go to release it by accident, or they try to get in the vault, and maybe somehow it gets released and it possesses somebody. And maybe through the course of the movie, he's maybe trying to bring himself back. Because I think that part of the conversation is going to be is he going to possess Kylo Ren? Is he going to possess Rey at all? But I think in one way or another, he will be there. And I think one way or another, even if it's only brief, he will have a new shell, if you will.
Okay.
But I think that will be like the true antagonist of the movie. Like, that would be the true evil.
I disagree on that. Well, partially. And I think Sarah's theory was more sound, where the Emperor takes over 3PO's body.
Oh, God, that wasn't my theory. Was that my theory?
I'm just messing with you.
The red eyes. I thought he was high.
Yeah, right. You're like, you need some...
Get into the spices.
Now we know you are incapable of agreeing with me on any point.
Any point at all.
Acknowledging that BS statement.
What do you think, Paul?
You think we'll see him?
You've seen the trailers, right?
I've seen the trailers, yes. The laugh, that just gave me the chills.
Yes.
Oh, me too, because it went black, or you went to the Rise of Skywalker.
Just the laugh.
Uh-huh.
That's just... vintage right there. But I think I agree. What was your name again?
Micah?
Micah. I think I agree with Micah here. Like, he might be in another vessel, some way, some sort of way. I don't know. But, and like you said, I think he might be coming back. Like,
Full form.
yeah, full form. So
I
that
know.
makes me also think about Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Supposedly Hayden Christensen might be in this, who played Anakin in the prequels. So
At the very least, a Force Ghost.
possibly,
You know.
who knows? What
I
do you?
have been saying that for a while, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
What do you think,
So
sir?
we saw what happened Last Jedi anyway. So.
You want to see Hayden Christensen back?
I do.
Yeah. In what way? You don't care.
I don't
You just want to see him back on
I just wanna
screen.
see him back. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. But
No braid. Long hair. No
the
braid.
no.
No
Okay. So
No what?
Braid.
no braid.
Oh, I think you said no brain. I'm like,
What?
how do you make that work?
No. Jeez.
Keep his face. I want
A
the bottom.
zombie Vader.
Zombie Vader.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that Palpatine will be coming back. You know, and I've speculated a little bit that could have possibly been Rey went to find the Death Star. Maybe there's something there that they're looking for. Maybe an artifact of Vader's or something. You know what I mean? That they're looking for. Maybe they're gonna fight the Knights of Ren or whatever the case may be. But I'm wondering if it's some kind of like hologram recording that they find. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Maybe I do want to see him, but I'm still kind of wary that he's gonna come out full force. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's something that they're just kind of insinuating.
Yeah.
That he just to kind of pull all of the movies together. That pulls all the movies together from the very first one to this very last one. Just to have him somewhere in it would pull them all together. I do want to see him on screen. You know what I mean? Ian McDiarmid is a great actor. You know what I mean? He plays the Emperor perfect.
To the T.
Perfect. They picked a perfect guy to do that.
But how do you bring him back? And fine, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
How do you bring him back and him just be a holographic recording?
True.
I think you will receive more backlash, and this is exactly what they don't want.
Yeah.
They need to go out with a bang for episode 9. And there's no way you bring him back that he has some insidious plan in the background, and then him just
Insidious?
purely. Yes, well, I think that's supposed to be the derivative of why he's Darth Sidious.
Of course.
But I just don't see how you can bring him back and him just simply be his goofy operation working in the background. He's just a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see them doing that. That just seems too much of a, forgive me, half-ass idea.
You know, and it could be just me, Micah.
So that's me disagreeing with you.
No, and
Because you're wrong.
That's very fair. That's very fair. You know, and that might just be me, just going. I don't want to be disappointed if we don't see him. That just might be me
I don't think
internally.
we're all going to be disappointed.
You know?
'cause the fact that Abrams is there, help directing the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fan himself, too.
Yeah.
JJ Abrams is a huge Star Wars fan. Yeah. Ugh. Well, we'll see.
Well, guys, I gotta go.
Paul?
Back to work.
Thanks. Enjoy those tickets. Oh, you wanna give him a sticker also?
Oh,
And also, this is another one of our prizes, but this was made by these guys here at Sunshine Custom Creations. They made this one right here.
oh, it's nice.
Yeah. And then this one is a prize we're going to give away later. So you can check them out. They're on Facebook.
Take my tickets, or should I get one of those?
Hey, I'll leave that up to you.
Can I see that? That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a big Darth Vader fan.
He's
though.
going to take that from you, Lewis.
I know.
I know,
I'm
right?
like pop off the top, dump it
Put
out.
it on a drink. I don't care. I want it.
That's a tough one, right?
I think I'm gonna go with this.
You're going to go with that
Yeah,
one?
so-
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see where the movie tickets were. Now I know. You're right. You look familiar. Rachel's sister, huh? Yeah.
If you have Facebook, Force Choke Podcast is on Instagram, Facebook. We got a YouTube channel. You're going to be on it for this episode 57.
Okay.
Right?
Your voice will.
Your voice will. We didn't get you in camera. Unless you want to come in camera real quick and say hi to everybody. But a lot of great conversation. We appreciate the input, you know. But, you know, follow us so we'll try to do more events like this around the city.
Okay.
We were at Corpus Christi Comic-Con last year.
Okay.
Hopefully we can be there again this coming
Definitely.
up here. But Paul, nice meeting you, man.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Bye.
bye. Have a good day.
Take care.
Awesome. So that was pretty cool. Sarah, you might have the tickets back.
Yeah. Fine. I was sweating there for a little bit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, the tickets.
Getting those chills again, yeah.
Did I throw this out there already? But
What's that?
maybe
Go
Ray's
ahead.
possessed by the pimper.
It's been said.
Crap. Okay. I'm reinforcing it
Yeah.
Right back.
because I'm not believing it.
Are you want me to stop this?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, because you do your goofy little...
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of been danced around. I don't know who necessarily said it first, but the general idea is kind of like he's going to potentially... I think he'll potentially maybe possess both of them at some point in time. But we'll see. We don't know. But the
You know
idea
what would be
I think
so
that's
cool?
more likely.
Oh, man, I just thought of this right now.
What?
What if the Emperor...
Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Because both the Emperor and Vader died on the Death Star. What if Anakin takes over one and the
be cool.
Emperor takes over the other?
And their
No.
actual fight would be the fight between them again. Oh. Yes. I'm down.
I'm not
Yes.
giving you a high five for that because he died, but we see his presence. We see his Force Ghost on Endor as Anakin.
So maybe he senses that evil again from Palpatine is like, you know what? No. And
You're gonna try to
intervening.
tell me a good spirited being senses bad
Yes, because
and
they're
decides
with the
to
Force
against somebody's will possess their body to
for the
destroy this
greater
person?
good. Yes.
That sounds like a load of crap. No, that's not happening. Sorry.
Well,
I like it.
Besides, the whole notion is supposed to be that Jedi, if they learn how to be Force Ghosts, that they're essentially immortal, right? But Palpatine, but the Sith can't, but they can live longer, almost like by feeding off of other people, if you will. I just don't see how that would be like. It would make sense how the Sith could possess somebody. It wouldn't make sense how a Jedi could or a light-sided person could. Very much kind of like Obi-Wan and Yoda were teaching Luke, but they weren't going to force him into doing a decision he didn't want to do. Luke, don't go. If you go to save your friends, you will die. I gotta go save my friends. They're not going to... Anakin is not going to come out of the, out of the blue and just be like, sorry about this,
well,
and then take over someone's body.
go ahead, Sarah. Then I have something to say about that.
If anything, he will be there to teach that person to help them.
Okay, Mike,
Fight me on this.
you can have it both ways if you like.
What do you mean have it both ways?
Because we've touched on Mace Windu has delved into the dark side, and you loved that aspect of it. That's why he has that purple lightsaber as well, right?
He came from the dark side.
Right? So how is it not possible that a light-sided Force Ghost Jedi would not be able to, or would not do that, to say, I must do this in order to save the galaxy?
I think the whole premise would be is that you have to be a certain kind of Jedi to be able to be a Force Ghost to begin with. And it's almost like if you corrupt that idea, you destroy the very essence of what you were, and you no longer can become a Force Ghost. Like almost as if like by making that selfish decision, it's almost like you had the inability to become a Force Ghost. Therefore, you just become.
Well, I would think it would
Gone.
be the epitome of unselfishness.
Okay, fine. Are you willing to make a bet on this?
No, it's just
That's what I thought.
It's just something
You're
that
not
I
gonna die on that
thought
hill.
of.
It was a cute idea for a second, and now it's crap.
No, this is the new theory on the Force Choke podcast. You heard it first.
On
Official rumor.
It's being shown on the Force Trust podcast, but I'm not endorsing it. It's this madman over here.
I got an endorser over here.
Yeah, I second
That's
that motion.
2 to 1.
I can't even wear the polo. I can't.
I wore the polo last
I don't even
time.
see
did
you
wear the
right now.
polo
last
I just hear a voice. That's
We
all.
didn't. No, nobody told me.
Well, if you pay attention to text, I mean, it was there too. Anyway.
We'll edit that out. Yeah.
Oh, no, we won't.
Oh,
As a matter of
God.
fact, I'll make it louder.
Did y'all really say we're wearing
Yes.
polos today?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
Well, I asked, hey, are we
Oh,
wearing
okay.
polos today? He was like, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
No, I
But-
said, well, of
you
course.
are.
Oh, yeah,
Y'all
you said
can't
yeah.
speak
Since we're
for
out
me,
in
so-
Yeah.
since we're out in the
But
public eye.
it's an official Force Choke podcast shirt.
Yeah.
So we're good.
The OG shirt.
Yeah, it is.
We need to tell them clean up in aisle 5.
Aisle 5? Is there an aisle 5
I
here?
don't even think
One,
this
two-
is
1,
like,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, we're aisle 5.
So,
Okay.
Make up the aisle.
Yeah, because
Are we
this could be
proud of
aisle
ourselves?
1.
This could be aisle 1.
Yeah.
could be, but I already called it aisle 5.
All right, aisle 5.
it's not your
Aisle
story.
5 it is. Aisle 5. We're done with that. We're ready to go to the next segment. We're going to go to and move to is Journey to the Mandalorian. So this is the Mandalorian. This is a segment we've been running with now for how long has it been now? We had
2 months?
about 2 months, right? So what we're doing is getting interviews with
Arbitrary thing to say.
3.5
2 months?
years.
2 months.
Why don't we just say, like
Like 2 months.
The last couple of episodes.
last 4 or 5 episodes?
Last 4 or 5 episodes. Excellent. So, what we're doing is we're getting some interviews with directors and actors, actresses that are going to be in The Mandalorian. So, this time around, well, last time we had Ming Na Wen.
Carlo Despacito? I don't
Yes.
know his name. Despacito?
Esposito. De Carlo. Esposito.
It's Carlo
De Carlo.
The car.
De Carlo
Esposito.
Esposito.
Yes. Who he plays one of the Moths in The
He's
Mandalorian.
gonna be a beast.
Ming-Na Wen is, we don't know what her character is going to be. All we know
She's
is,
a badass.
yes.
She is a badass.
She said all she can say is, she's not going to be a farmer. So,
You're a farmer, you're a killer, so.
so I got this previously recorded interview here.
It's a Bill Burr.
I got Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And we have Taika Waititi. So, which one do y'all want to hear first?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr? You okay with that, Micah?
Bill Burr. Bill Burr.
Sure, let's just say it's alphabetical so we don't piss off Taika.
Okay. Alphabetically, we'll hear from Bill Burr first. Okay. Oh, we'll have to turn this thing on, guys.
You dingbat. I'm not editing this.
Comedy Smash.
It's okay. I mean, sometimes they're tough.
Sarah, do you really want to give me more ammunition?
All right, here we go.
Jeez.
Talking to Bill Burr.
Okay.
Pre-recorded. Okay,
Bill.
are we going? We're
Bill.
It's
Bill.
been on.
Bill
Oh,
Burr, the
there
We
film
got Bill
guy.
Burr right off Netflix comedy smash hit Paper Tiger. Bill, thanks for spending a few moments here with me on behalf of the Force Choke podcast. Bill, it was speculation, but you've since confirmed you are in a Star Wars project. Can you share what project you're in?
The Mandalorian, the one that Jon Favreau put together.
Oh, that's a big one. Our team is highly anticipating The Mandalorian, so much so that we already signed up for Disney Plus. Can you give us a scoop on who you're going to be playing in The Mandalorian?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I'm allowed. I was in the trailer. You see the back of my bald head for half a second.
Well, it must be a dream come true to be in a Star Wars project of this magnitude. Your fandom meter must be sky high right now.
And this is the thing. I've never been a sci-fi. I like Blade Runner. There was a movie that Sam Rockwell did called Moon. I like that sort of dark, creepy Stanley Kubrick Space Odyssey. I like that. I was never into the Star Wars thing. By the time I saw it, I was just too old. You had like Ewoks and stuff. I missed the boat, so I never got on it. And I religiously made fun of every one of them that came out, just teasing, just because people were excited.
And as fans, we can appreciate your kind of humor, Bill. So most of the people involved with The Mandalorian are big Star Wars fans. How did you get sucked into this whole thing?
I'm a jerk, so I see people get excited about something, I just make fun of it. And so I ran into John somewhere, hanging with Mike Binder, start giving that guy a commission. Like, hey, I'm doing this Star Wars thing, would you want to do something? I was like, I can't always make fun of it. And he was just going like, I think that'd be funny. I think your fans would get a kick out of the fact if you went into that thing. And then I went in there, and they were shooting it like a spaghetti western. And I was like, immediately was like so psyched to be a part of it.
From the trailer, it does have that Western vibe. Being on set and knowing what is this, The Mandalorian, going to be a hit for Disney Plus?
It's the Star Wars. I think it's going to take it to. I don't know anything about Star Wars, but it's the one that I saw. Once I saw the stormtroopers' heads on those sticks, I was like, all right, I'm in.
Oh, yeah, Bill. I totally agree with that scene. Our team is all in on The Mandalorian. And thanks for stopping by and talking with me. And we'll be looking for you on The Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
All right, so
Thanks, Billy.
it was Bill Burr talking to us about The Mandalorian. So he can't really tell us about his character, but he does come out in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know
where.
You don't know where? He said we see his bald head.
Yeah.
The back of it.
The back
and
of
I
it.
mentioned that in there, and that I never had it confirmed for a while anyway. It was on that first
The teaser?
teaser, but it was a teaser I think for Celebration.
Okay.
Where it was bootleg. What the hell was it called? Leaked.
Oh yeah, the leak where somebody like just.
Well, because in that
records
one
it
you
with
actually see his face because it shows he's like shooting or something.
Okay.
But yeah, in the official trailer you see him walking away, walking to the ship where you see
There's his bald head right there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel? I mean, are y'all Bill Burr fans?
Yes.
And y'all are familiar with this comedy. I actually just watched.
Favorite Tiger?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was really good. So I think I'm a fan now. I'll probably have to go back. I saw on Netflix that he has a couple of other ones.
A few.
So I'm going to have to go back and watch those. How do y'all feel about him being in The Mandalorian?
I want him to be an antagonist just because that's really like his personality.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to be a D-bag.
Well, to my understanding, from what I've seen in the trailers, I think he's supposed to be like a bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. I mean, I know we've kind of talked about this moral relativism kind of in the show.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any good or bad guys.
At this point in time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean...
The Empire's gone.
He's a bounty
right?
hunter, and he probably does whatever the hell he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's probably the closest thing that you would get anyway, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm sure some are nicer than the others or not as of a dick or whatever.
To put it loosely.
No. But he's going to be that guy.
But, I mean, bounty hunters almost by definition do whatever the hell they want to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Just get the job done, right?
Yeah.
Just get your
booty.
And then go get your
what kind
bounty.
of
yes.
What kind of post-Empire world would survive if they were good people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So do you think at this point in time in the Star Wars universe, bounty hunters are almost necessary to keep some kind of order?
I don't think they're necessary, but I think it's definitely a world in which they will thrive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because how easy is it to be? Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, how easy would it be? You know, how easy would it be? Just you do whatever you want to, but the only point in this thing is to not receive retribution.
Yeah.
So instead of doing the action yourself. Jesus.
Wow, get it out, Mike.
Instead of doing the action yourself,
TIA or what?
hire bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you have the money. Too. Because think about what?
Okay.
Think about the majority of the galaxy is probably going to be impoverished.
It's just the select few.
It's the select few who can afford
the impoverished
Well, I mean, that
are
was
in servitude or owe these guys money or whatever it is.
That was in part by me making the conversation that in a post-Empire world that nothing good survives, that bounty hunters may not be a necessity, but would very much thrive in the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like be your own person. Like, you know, I didn't exactly agree to this beforehand, but it's kind of like it'd probably be it's an easier life now, and you get whatever you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just makes sense.
To you.
Does it not make sense to you? Exactly.
Wow.
She just did not want to agree with you. All right, so I'm looking forward to Bill Burr being on this thing. I'm hoping he's not like one and done.
No.
Oh, it would be neat to have him as
like the whole season, maybe, and then dies fantastically.
Is he really?
In the
He's
end.
only in one episode.
Crap.
Are you sure? Man, I should have asked him that question.
He's gonna be throughout.
Because
the
I'll just say maybe someone
fantastically.
leaked your interview with him out into the ether, because I heard an extended interview. Maybe you did an interview with someone else, and in said interview, it's a one
and done. Oh, that sucks, because I could see him being a thorn in somebody's side for a prolonged time. You know what I mean? That's unfortunate.
Maybe one and done for this season.
Yeah, for this season.
Or
I wouldn't assume like he dies or anything. Maybe we'll see him for the next season.
Yeah.
And maybe depending upon how, I think there's also this kind of preconceived notion. It's like, oh, if you're funny, you can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, almost like a typecasting kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I think if he's well received, which I'm sure he would be, or Favreau wouldn't have had him.
Yeah.
Like if he's well received by the fans for the time that he does have in this, may very well be a reasoning to have him maybe in a couple episodes for the next season.
And you know what's cool about this as well is that
cross paths.
is that Bill Burr said that he really wasn't a Star Wars fan. He actually makes fun of people, who like Star Wars, and now he's in it. But then when he saw it being filmed and the stormtroopers' heads on spikes,
He's like, this is cool.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Maybe he was like, you know what? I'll do one. If you want me to be in it, I'll do one.
Yeah.
But what if he really likes it? And like you said, Sarah, next season, he's like, hey, if you want to use me, I'm here. You know what I mean? So hopefully in that episode, he doesn't get killed off. So, I'm really excited to see what his character is all about.
I think that scene that we saw him in, them walking away, I think that's probably like the finale of his character for the episode.
Yeah.
So for the season.
Yeah. It could be.
Because like I said, the footage that I saw that was leaked, like they were in some kind of fight, and it looked kind of close quarters, so it would make sense if it was some kind of like maybe hangar. And after they're done with everything, they're like,
fight's over.
Bye.
We're gonna go.
Yeah.
Shoo. I'm not gonna do your, be part of your dirty little, escapade for whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Or at least Mandalorian in this case.
Yeah. Excellent.
But they're all supposed to be like part of this like bounty hunter guild.
Yeah.
So that just might have been like a. Hopefully, okay, I'll put it to you like this: if he is only in the one episode, hopefully we do get to see a fair amount of him.
True.
One episode. Because if we just like, oh hey, I'm Bill Burr, bye.
Bye. Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah, that would.
So why even have me?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Bill Burr, and maybe we can catch up with him again later on. And see how his character progresses. All right. So next we're going to I talked to Taika Waititi, who has done some of the MCU. Did the Thor movies, right?
He did Thor Ragnarok. Did he play Meek? Was that his name in there?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
He played one of his characters in Ragnarok.
Okay. Was that when they're in the
Korg.
jail? Yeah, he was in the jail. They were in the jail.
Hello, guys.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to hear from Taika Waititi, who's set to direct some of the Mandalorian series.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he just had a role. But isn't he IG-11?
Let's hear from Taika
We've talked
Waititi.
about it before. Calm down, but fine. Yes, let's hear from him.
Here we go.
Taika, can we have a few moments of your time, sir? All right. Hey, we just wanted to get some of your insight on The Mandalorian. So, how did you get started involved with this project? I mean, Disney Plus, Mandalorian, Jon Favreau. You got a whole bunch of stars coming out in this thing. Tell us a little bit how you got involved with it.
Jon Favreau got in touch with me and he just said, look, what are you up to? Do you want to come and do this show? Do you want to come and direct some of the show? And also, do you want to come and be a character in the show? And just hearing just those two words, Star Wars, and it was an incredible, it was a shock and also quite amazing. Obviously everyone's grown up with these movies, but I'm of the age where, I saw them in the order they were made. And so I leapt with the opportunity and just to be sort of thrown into this world after working with Marvel and then thrown into the Lucasfilm world and to be able to play with all those toys and those characters and a lot of the elements that I've grown to love over the years was a real experience.
Well, it sounds like you've taken this project very seriously and for the fans, making it for the fans. That's what we want to hear. That you are a fan yourself and you want to do the best possible job on The Mandalorian. So we appreciate that. Thank you. How do you feel about, fans of Star Wars?
Yeah, I think that filmmaking in general is quite a lonely business, and just to know that there are fans out there who are passionate about this stuff, it gives you a lot more confidence and it energizes you and invigorates you.
Yes, that's pretty understandable. And so, earlier you mentioned that not only are you going to direct some of the Mandalorian series, you're also going to be starring in it. And I understand that you're going to be playing a droid in The Mandalorian. So, Taika, is there any way that you can explain to us who this character is or what he's all about or what it's all about? I mean, it's a droid after all.
The droid's name is IG-11. A lot of people presumed it was IG-88 because he looks very much the same. IG-11, actually. And I did not know the difference. I'll be very honest with you. I didn't know the difference between any of these things. But he's a bounty hunter droid, so he goes off and he collects his bounties, and he's very good at it. He's a sharpshooter, and he's very efficient. He, all the things that you'd expect from a droid. He's like a Terminator. But doesn't look he looks a bit more wonky looking and tall and lanky.
Awesome. So the Star Wars version of the Terminator. Oh, excellent. Can't wait to see that on The Mandalorian. So, you've worked on, I believe it's Marvel. You've directed some movies and, with great success. And so I'm wondering, what's the difference between that Star Wars universe and the Marvel universe? Tell us a little bit about that.
It felt very similar because, John was also in both families, and under the Disney umbrella, everyone's within the same family, and you sort of just hang out with the same people all the time. But for me, it was a very special thing to be part of this because of the, I think the history of the properties and growing up with that stuff and seeing, going on set and seeing stormtroopers and freaking out stuff. I'm shooting with stormtroopers. So that all those things, that like I loved comics growing up, and I had a degree of that when I was doing Thor, but not quite to the level of doing Mandalorian.
Well, Taika, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and we can't wait to see you collect your bounties and terminate people on The Mandalorian coming this fall on Disney Plus. Thanks again.
There you go. So that was Taika Waititi directing and starring in The Mandalorian. So I guess you got your confirmation that he's going to be not only starring but directing in it as well, Micah.
Yes.
So, how do you feel about him?
What the hell is that, Sarah? How do I feel about it?
Yeah.
He's awesome. I like him. I'm even...
he's very witty.
It's not... Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think we get to see that in a new movie that he has coming out called Jojo Rabbit. Are you familiar with this?
I'm not familiar with that. What is that about?
This video's gonna get banned just talking about it.
Oh, good.
It's a movie, to my understanding from the trailer. It's a movie who follows a boy who's supposed to be growing up, and to be a Nazi.
Oh god.
Wow.
And his imaginary friend
Yeah.
is Adolf Hitler, played by Taika Waititi.
Wow.
Really?
Like Scarlett Johansson's in it. There's a couple known actresses in it.
And what's it called again?
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. Is it out already or no?
No, it's coming out I think this month. Well, because there's not debate but kind of conversation about it. Like how could you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't. Apparently, it wasn't hard for him to do it at all, and apparently, or hopefully, it's going to have good feedback. But like, he even so much as to say is like, well, how did you prepare for playing the role of an imaginary Adolf? He's like, I'm not going to say the exact words, but he essentially said, I didn't prepare because that guy's an asshole. I just did what I wanted to.
Okay.
So I think it looks really good. I encourage anyone to watch the trailer. By the time this video goes up, maybe it's already out. But it looks super interesting to me. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of like, how could you do that?
Yeah.
You know, like not how could you do it, like how dare you, but like how would you make this work?
Yeah.
And then watching the trailer, then I guess seeing even in a secondary trailer, which gave you a little bit more information, I was like, hey, okay, this could be something really, you know, intuitive, witty, as you call them.
Yeah.
And also entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Wow. Well, you know, it seems like he has the imagination to really give us what we want to see in The Mandalorian. Taika Waititi, I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Sarah? You just heard him talk about, you know, he's been, you know, I'm sure he's about my age, I would think, somewhere around there. So he's been with Star Wars ever since he was a kid. I think it sounded like he was joking a little bit. He's like, well, I don't know what this is or that is. You know what I mean? He knows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But how do you feel about him?
I think he's going to do a good job.
Yeah. Well, did you watch Thor Ragnarok?
I did watch Thor Ragnarok.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So if you get, you know.
Anybody involved, no, not a blanket statement, but if they're involved with Marvel, I think I have confidence in them.
Well, the ones who are existing with.
Yeah.
Because, and the reason I say that is he's really the reason that Chris Hemsworth wants to continue to do Thor as long as he can. Because he was at the conversation kind of like, as soon as this happens, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But then when he did Thor 3, Ragnarok, that he was like, you know, reinvigorated to like, okay, like, this is what it needs to be. Like, you know, this is entertaining. This is fun for me.
Yeah.
Let's continue doing this.
Well, because I think the first two Thors were very, they were very straightforward. The third one, which I wasn't.
I think the second Thor movie is probably probably the worst.
Yeah, and then the third
it's
one,
MCU, so it's not terrible, but like someone's got to be last place. And Thor 2 is last place.
Yeah, exactly right.
By a margin.
And so, you know, the third one I wasn't a huge fan of, but it was better than the other Thors. I thought, you know, and then this new one, Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder. Where Jane is supposed to be Thor, might be interesting too. You know what I mean? So I'm really. He has a lot of work going on. You know what I mean? Which is going to be pulling him in all kinds of directions. But he seems like he's got it together. You know what I mean? And what he said, which is really great on the interview, taking the words out of his mouth, is they're like a family. You know, working with MCU, working with Star Wars. It's kind of like, oh, hey, you're here too. You're here. Oh, you're over there too. Hey, you know, we worked on whatever and that, you know what I mean? And so you get it sounds like, get a lot of support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From that that corner of that Disney family.
Just going forward, it's like, Jesus, like, there's going to be so much. Because it's so good right now, and they can just continue forth with that.
Yeah.
So can you just imagine, like, you know, us obviously being of age to watch the MCU as it grows.
Yes.
Us growing up with Star Wars, but also seeing, I almost say, like, the new direction they're taking, beginning with the sequels. You know, but then someone in 50 years, let's just say 20 years, it's still going on.
Yeah.
30 years, it's like still going on. It's like, I have all that I got to start with to come to this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure in that time frame
is kind of like, if you want to start everything over just to get to Endgame, it's still wild.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the
Takes a
21st or
long
22nd film?
Yeah, something
Or
like
23rd
that.
film, something like
Yeah,
that?
because I think they're even counting some of the Hulk movies
Yeah.
as part of that.
The Incredible Hulk.
Right? The one with Ed Norton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
Part of
MCU.
it.
Anything else is not.
Yeah. So it's
All the way from Iron Man, Iron Man 1 to this.
on to where we're at now. It's been a great journey. I think I've seen most of the movies. I'd have to say like 90% of them. But, if Star Wars gets to that point, because we're right now, 11 movies? 9, 10 movies?
For Star Wars?
Yeah, well, with Han Solo and Rogue One.
This will be the 11th?
11th, right? Yeah. So, you're dedicating, 33 hours or so of your life? You know what I mean? If you wanted to, quote-unquote, catch up for this next one, you know what I mean? So, it's quite a...
Just imagine growing up in a world in the future where it's like, you like Star Wars? Oh my God, I love Star Wars. Like, just knowing that thought, like, there's 100 movies you can binge.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, I'm in heaven.
Go. Right? So.
I'll see you in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Assuming Rian Johnson's trilogy won't be a flop. Oof.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to do good on his own.
With new characters and all that stuff.
Exactly. But yeah, him with episode 8, I think, was a failure.
Yeah.
Or not a failure, but a flop, at the very least.
With a new set of characters and doing whatever he wants to do with them.
With no real expectation other than what he creates.
Yeah. I think it could be great, whatever he comes up with,
But he's gonna be fighting an uphill battle from the jump.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. And I'm going to go watch him. I mean, not that we...
Star Wars and we're Star Wars fans.
Exactly.
I mean, I will too, but I mean...
How many times are you going to see it opening weekend?
It depends upon what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now ask me about that about episode 9.
Ooh, and that's a great transition to our next topic, which is Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, is quote-unquote not repairing The Last Jedi, insists J.J. Abrams. So we were under the assumption that they were kind of like, okay, 8 really didn't happen, let's get back on track. So it seems like J.J. Abrams is going to take what happened in the events of The Last Jedi and incorporate that some into The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, of course it's not going to be like he's going to be trashing everything. I think some elements we will see, regardless of what he says. I think that's a political statement. You can't go into episode 9 and say that we're doing like a complete, scrub down of
Rian
episode 8.
Johnson's, that was not Star Wars, I'm going to fix this.
Because that would be a complete division inside the house. And at this point, especially with Bob Iger's comments about taking a stay away from the movies itself, like they need to create, a unison kind of conversation again. Like they need to bring everything back. And then, so you can't just say like that we're redoing episode 8.
So you think it was just a deflection?
I think J.J. Abrams is skilled enough that it will be a repair of it, but it will be done in such a way where it won't be so apparent.
Okay.
But it will definitely not have been the same. If you were to take this in one direction, it definitely wouldn't have been that same direction that Rian Johnson was leading us on. Yeah. So again, I think it will be a course correct, but of course, J.J. Abrams, needing it for the unity to bring everything back to to working together, everyone liking it again. It will be done in such a way where it makes sense, and that's what I've said from the beginning. Like to see these actors, to see these characters, to see them bring back Palpatine, for them to do this type of movie, for them to continue further along, whatever the dynamic of it is, so long as they do something good.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Interrupt. What are y'all doing?
We're doing a Star Wars podcast. We're the first Star Wars podcast here, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Awesome. I like Star Wars.
You do? Okay, so we have some giveaways here. I got action figures. We got some Alamo Drafthouse movie tickets. We have this is actually Kylo Ren. This is actually from Trent Westbrook. He's an actual official Star Wars artist. Lives here in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Wow.
And it's a signed piece.
That's awesome.
So we're giving that away, like I said, and we have some other stuff. So
doing like trivia or something, or
would y'all if y'all want to do some trivia, we can do that too. Or if you just want to pick something, you can do that as well.
Give us your opinion on episode 9.
Yeah.
And the next
How
one.
about that?
So the new one coming out.
The new one coming out.
Excited?
How are
Not
you
excited?
feeling?
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the preview, I don't know if y'all heard where they said no one really dies, and you can hear Chancellor Palpatine
Yes.
in the background.
Yeah, Paul earlier, he said he got chills.
Yeah, I mean, I was
just-
like, whoa, man. You know,
Yeah.
just a distinctive laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
it's the Chancellor.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
was like, wow, okay, well, if nobody's really gone, so there's a Chancellor, is there Yoda, is there Skywalker in spirit form going to be showing up? Just
Yeah.
like how Obi-Wan Kenobi was back in the day. So,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to see if
yeah,
any of the old characters
yeah,
make
exactly.
appearances or something like that.
absolutely.
Especially the Chancellor and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I mean, I have a lot of Revenge of the Sith
Yes.
figures.
Okay, cool.
I believe they're 2002 or I don't remember when they came out with the figures,
Yeah,
but they're mostly all Jedi Knights.
Yeah.
You know, that's when they all came out.
exactly.
They
Yeah,
all killed them off.
yeah,
They
yeah.
all killed them off. So,
Yeah.
so she's supposed to be the last Jedi, right? Supposedly.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
right?
The last. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So to answer
So-
your question, yeah, I'm excited about episode 9 to see if, like I said, the whole end of the preview when I heard Chancellor Palpatine.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, whoa. I don't know everything about Star Wars like some people, but I'm more of a Marvel DC
yeah.
type of.
Yeah, well, we were actually just talking about the MCU a
Yeah.
while ago. You know,
Yeah.
we were talking to Taika Waititi. He did some of the Thor movies,
Yeah. Okay.
and then
I heard y'all talking about
yeah,
that.
he's going to do the Mandalorian
Okay.
on Disney Plus streaming service. He's going to be in it,
Awesome.
portraying a character, and he's going to direct a few of them as well.
He played Korg, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's his very distinctive voice.
Yeah.
You can hear him.
Yeah.
I heard you overheard y'all talking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that is Korg.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so a lot of exciting things happening with Star Wars and the MCU, and it feels and we see that directors, actors from one side, or you know, they're kind of like it's coming together, meshing both worlds together. Maybe not on screen,
Yeah.
but actually directors and actors moving from one side to the other and back and forth, and they've got. It seems like they've gotten the best of the best
Yes.
to do these things, which
Yeah,
is
I
great
know.
for
Oh, I know.
for the fans. You know what I mean?
It's so crazy how our technology just like makes it real.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just-
absolutely. Things that
Just
they
like
couldn't
I saw
do.
Joker yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it was awesome. Man.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it.
we're going. Yeah,
A couple hours.
He's gonna go in a couple hours, and
I ain't
then
gonna ruin it.
yeah, my wife and I were gonna go a little bit later today.
So sick, man.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Well, we want you guys. We appreciate your feedback, and we're on Instagram, Facebook. We're
Card
on.
or something? This is
Yeah,
where?
that's actually. You can take one of those, and we have a
Another
sticker.
We got one. We got one.
And if y'all want to take a couple of trading cards there, those are free as
You want
well.
Cards, Layla? Awesome. Take one for Destiny.
Yeah, we're gonna get that too. And also, we don't want y'all walking away without a prize.
Okay.
So, once again, we got tickets there. We got official piece of artwork signed from Trent Westbrook. We
Yeah,
got
that is awesome. But I would no. I would rather have somebody who's more of a fan of Kylo Ren and them to take that.
okay.
Because we're not, like I said, we are Star Wars fans. But I would rather have somebody who's gonna appreciate that.
Okay.
But hey, we love the movie tickets.
Okay.
What do we got to do?
All you got to do, you already did it. You gave us your input
Okay.
on what you felt on episode 9.
All right.
And so, if y'all want to go ahead and take those
Sure.
movie tickets, absolutely.
Tell them
And
thank you very much.
do you have my? You're welcome. You're welcome. I think we have in the front the magnets.
Awesome. And that's good for any movie, or is that for the Star Wars movie?
That's for any movie.
Oh,
You can go
okay.
to any movie you want to.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not specific to just
Watch
that
Joker
movie.
again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, like I said, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on
Thank you.
YouTube.
Cool.
Make sure to subscribe to us, follow us. Y'all are going to be on this episode.
Wow.
Just not the video. So
Yeah,
unless
just
you
the-
want to
just
jump
the
and say
audio.
hi, but
Yeah, you
What's
know.
that real quick?
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So we're on live on Instagram right over there.
Come on, Layla.
And so
What's up, guys?
so yeah, make sure to follow us and subscribe to us. Yeah, like I said, this is episode 57. So when that goes out, y'all will be able to see us on there. Okay.
Cool. Well, thank y'all very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy those tickets, guys.
Awesome, man.
Y'all have a great day.
Thank you so much.
That was fun. Awesome. Excellent.
I mean,
Excellent.
that's the whole point of the show too.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
We're fans, and communicating with other fans.
Absolutely.
Our collective love.
The collective.
And in this case, hate.
Sounds like a cult now.
I know, right?
Are you telling me it's not?
I don't think it's necessarily cult.
You haven't initiated her yet.
But we were right in the middle of that great interaction that we just had.
Yeah.
But Rise of Skywalker is not repairing The Last Jedi. What do you think, Sarah?
Like, Luke's not going to wake up and be like, oh my god, thank god that was a dream,
Well,
he's just going to keep on.
He's going to wake up and say,
Keep on
this
going.
deal keeps all getting worse
all the time. You feel like you're being treated
and that's how Lando comes out. He goes, I know what you mean, bro. Your daddy did that same shit to me.
I think they're gonna just go for it. It's the finale, right?
Yeah.
When you go see the fireworks and the finale, they just really go over the top, right? So I think that's what this is gonna be. And even though they're not trying to repair The Last Jedi for some fans, I don't think they need to repair it for me. Some fans, they feel like they need it to be repaired.
Does that mean I can call you Broom Kid now?
You can call me.
You can call me whatever you want.
That's right. But for some fans, it needs to, and I think inadvertently, it will repair The Last Jedi.
At least maybe impressions on the trilogy as a whole.
And it could be where the events that happen in The Rise of Skywalker actually make The Last Jedi feel right after it's over.
It'll be like the palate cleanser.
Yeah. The sorbet.
I don't think you really want to say that for the finale.
No? Sorbet?
Will be in a palate cleanser?
Yeah. It'll like...
I want more out of this movie than it just being a bow.
Fix the opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't care about all that.
You don't care about your opinion?
Well, what I'm saying is I don't want the movie just to be purely of
it's not just
a
be
bow
fan
to finish
service.
everything off.
No, not necessarily.
I'm not talking about fan service, but I'm saying like if it. I think if I mean I know we're just getting caught up on words, but I would rather it be the dynamite, the TNT at the end of the track that destroys Wile E. Coyote. I don't want it to be seeing Roadrunner still alive. I don't want it to be a palate cleanser. I want it to go out with a bang. Because I feel like if you try to say it's your sorbet, your palate cleanser, whatever, then it may not be as much as this movie could be. And I already think we've gotten acknowledgement from J.J. Abrams to insist that that's not the case, because him going so far as to say the last set will melt your face. I just said F it and went for it. Like, I just don't get that impression. That's all. I just don't get that impression.
I'm not saying like palate cleanse in like a bad way, but like.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I think
with the amount of awesomeness that there's going to be,
getting caught up in just some words.
Okay.
Maybe the palate cleanser will be
Well, then stop.
Will be at the beginning, and then the fireworks.
Stop getting caught up in words. Okay.
Speaking of being caught up in words, Adam Driver doesn't think Kylo Ren is a real villain. He's quoted saying that.
Of course not. And I've made this argument from like the jump, haven't I?
And I'll give you that, Micah. But recently, Adam Driver himself came out to say this is what he truly thinks. Not you. He himself.
Yeah.
Adam Driver doesn't think that
but
Kylo
it's still
Ren.
Confirming my beliefs.
No, absolutely. So I want to, this confirms for you what the actor Adam Driver thinks of Kylo Ren. That he doesn't think that he's a real villain. Mm-hmm. So now that it's kind of confirmed for you, Micah, I mean, how do you feel about that, man?
You want to finish the rest of it?
No, I mean these are just thoughts. I mean, you don't have to read it, but if you want to, that's fine.
I mean, I think I'm glad to think that the actor is on. Okay, that's been my belief.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it doesn't have to be right. A lot of people can interpret many different things, but I guess it's fulfilling for me as a fan to think that the actor portraying this character has a bit of the same ideology respecting that.
You know what I think, Micah? I think that you just like the Kylo Ren character. I mean, he's on your screen right there.
He is.
Right?
And it's a badass picture.
You know, it's funny because it seems like a lot of the characters that you enjoy are that on the line, that borderline. Yeah, they're not really good, but they're not really bad either.
Are you saying... I mean, I will in part agree with that comment, but are you saying because I like him, I'm seeing past the idea that he's a villain?
Yeah. Is that possible?
It's partly possible, but like I've said from the beginning, he doesn't find himself to be a real villain. He is his grandfather again. He is Anakin. He was Anakin without, the comfort and the guidance of the council to direct him in such a manner in which that caused him to have this inevitable meltdown, turning into Darth Vader, which inevitably killing all of them. Indubitably. And I think this is the same thing for Kylo Ren as what I... the conversation that I've made about Episode 8 is that, yes, he was being manipulated. That wasn't his fault. But the thing that ultimately brought him in was seeing his mentor hovering over him with an ignited lightsaber. You wake up and he's going to be thinking, he's going to kill me. Luke was the catalyst that didn't just nudge him off the fence, that punched him through it. Kylo Ren is the end game of what all these different ages and factors have been working on it. It's not his fault, and in the ideology, he's not a villain. Point of perspective, but also too is because he may not know that from an early age Snoke was manipulating him.
Okay.
And of course that is also true of those that are powerful. Is that you can become powerful, you can be good, but that power can make you do things that you're not supposed to because you have this greater responsibility or whatever.
Yeah.
But also too, the whole fact is that Ben Solo became Kylo Ren as a result of Luke's actions.
You mentioned that should we read this, and I said no, but I think to your point, maybe I should read this. So this is a quote.
So I'm right again.
Well, you very very well may be. Let me say here what.
I didn't read this before I made any comments. So
okay.
It made me look like.
Why don't you read it, Sarah? Right here for after
where it says Adam.
Yeah. So this is from Adam Driver.
Adam Driver says.
Yeah. When they think of their actions as morally justified, it makes them dangerous and unpredictable. There is no level they won't go to accomplish what they're after. I've never thought of the character as an evil person. Kylo Ren didn't set out to be evil, but he came to believe in the dark side of the Force. That twisted his worldview, and he thought he needed to kill his own father. Kylo was tortured. He didn't act in cold-bloodedness without a second thought. He was clearly conflicted.
So the conflict within him kind of steered him in that direction, which is what you were talking about, right? He was manipulated.
Well, that, and also too is it's kind of like the conversation is like it would be the conversation is, are you willing to kill one person to save 1,000,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as a matter of perspective, like dark or light, left or right, up or down, they're two sides of the same coin. One side believes what they're doing is morally justified. The other side, what they're doing believes is... One side believes you're morally justified. The other side believes the same. But obviously, polar opposites.
Yeah.
And in this case, he believed that he had to do a bad deed, kind of like Cassian Andor, killing that guy essentially in cold blood
right at the end.
For the rebellion to continue on. For, this,
so he
this
didn't get caught, right? He had to get out of
exactly.
there. Yeah.
And I think in this case, too, is... He's also being manipulated by Snoke, and he's also I guess, wanting to live up to Snoke, or Snoke's envision for him, especially being preached as this new Prince of Darkness, as he says in Episode 7.
Yeah.
I'm not a villain. A good person can't do bad things.
Yeah.
That's not to say that's ridiculous. Is that a good person can't do bad things so much as that a bad person can't do good things. And so sure, killing his dad. Unarguably,
it's all the
that
motive. Motive behind it, right? What's the motive?
I mean, that has to do with it, sure, but he believes a certain way. He's had to do things, good and bad, to further this objective, trying to look at the larger goal at hand.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he did a bad thing, and yes, killing a person is supposed to be a bad thing, but also he's being trained to kill people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, what other purpose does a lightsaber have if not to use deadly force?
Cut the cheese.
Chop down trees.
Oh, the bread? Toasted?
Yeah,
toasted bread.
Speaking of toast.
So no,
we'll talk about that later.
I don't think he's evil. I think evil things happen to him.
Well, not evil. A villain.
A villain. A real villain.
Is he a villain? A real villain? Villain.
I am a villain.
Fasci?
I would just be careful with that comment, because if we want to say that, then I think Luke I think there's a compelling argument to say that Luke had become a villain. He had shut himself off from the Force. He wasn't helping out other people. He was being selfish in his own means. And one of the last acts he did before that was inevitably push someone over to the bad side, the dark side.
But that was their action.
But...
Huh? No, I'm saying that's Luke's action. So I'm saying to say that a good person's villain is a bad guy. A bad guy's villain is a good guy. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is that there's a case to be made, if you don't want to say evil, then to say that Kylo Ren is a villain or not, then Luke can also be a villain.
To Kylo Ren.
Or anyone on that side. The whole point is, remember perspective. Which side are you looking at this from?
That's quite the perspective.
Oh, Jesus.
What do you think, Sarah? He's a villain, right? I think he's a villain.
I don't want him to be a villain.
I know you don't want him to be a villain. But
I don't know.
I'm calling a duck.
Or how about this? This guy's got 2 legs and a beak. Doesn't mean shit.
Well, he's quacking.
Well,
how about this?
What?
You know, and I'll expand, or I'll come back a bit. He definitely did not start off as one, even as Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
I can totally agree with that.
But when I talked about having all this power and responsibility and potentially being manipulated by that, he probably will be the villain in the beginning of Episode 9. This comment that he made is just overall, but also I highly doubt it's to give any insinuance to when he does in Episode 9. Mm-hmm. He might as well be the villain.
Well, he's taking over the Supreme Leader role, right?
Well, that's what I mean, is because you give him everything you got, destroy him and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And so at the beginning of Episode 9, he may be very much that villain, but I don't think it'll be for long, because again, somehow or another, he's gonna have to join up with Rey and take on the true adversary, which more than likely will be Palpatine in some fashion.
Will Palpatine get So, Star Wars has always seemed about, retribution. And
wait, what did you say that again?
Star Wars, right?
Is about retribution?
Yeah. Well, not just that, but
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, it's wars, right? You're going up against somebody. But there's always seems to be a bad guy somewhere. But it's also about what is it called?
I'd say salvation, really.
Salvation. That's not the word I'm looking for.
This is the song. This is the ballad of Anakin Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so the ultimate evil, which might be the Emperor, if the Force needs Kylo Ren to battle the Emperor, then maybe that's the direction it'll go, and that'll be his quote unquote salvation. Do you think he's going to be saved in this movie? Quote unquote saved?
It's a Disney movie, he has to be.
Yeah.
But
if it was a George Lucas movie, is that still the case?
Still, yeah.
Yes.
Because he saved
But I
Vader.
think even for me enjoying Kylo Ren as he is, I think he deserves a salvation, and that's an ending that I would want to see for him. Mm-hmm. Because again, him being like a worn, torn child, from the start. He didn't choose this life.
True.
He was
And
pushed into it,
Leia,
and he
Leia
became,
kind of sent him, right?
Yeah, and he became what he had to be to survive in that point because of everything happening to him. So again, like we've seen it after he killed Han Solo. Snoke talking to him, beginning of Episode 8. Like
They cut him
you
in
know,
two.
it splits you into two. Like this isn't what he wants, and he's very much reacting to the situation he's in. Is surviving now a bad thing?
It could be. I think it could be.
From someone else's perspective.
True. That's my perspective.
But his perspective is of his own character.
You're absolutely right, and that's the statement that he gave. You know what I mean?
That's why I respect him more now.
Yeah,
I know it was possible.
Yeah, you know that his worldview was twisted. You know.
But how about that? How about that?
Haba.
We all think that he's going to be saved or salvaged, right? Is he going to die though? Can someone with that much, talking about MCU, can someone with that much red in the ledger, despite being salvaged, despite coming back,
I think it's more likely that
have an existence afterwards?
I think it's more likely that he dies than Rey dies. So if that's the case, I think he might.
Are you insinuating that one of them has to?
I'm not insinuating one of them has to, but I think that the probability is pretty high. Thank you, Sarah. That may happen.
That's all, folks.
That may happen. That's my insinuation.
So, but I'm asking you: is it possible that they both survive?
It's possible that they both survive as well, but I think the likelihood is higher that one of them doesn't.
Because maybe this is what this whole been about. You know, I think with Anakin's being the chosen one, it's already been established by many different fronts. So I don't want to hear an argument about this. Anakin's supposed to be the chosen one. He's supposed to bring balance to the Force. Maybe that was only an inkling of what the whole prophecy was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But even more so is that, again, the people who even acknowledge that in the Clone Wars episodes, the father and then the son and the daughter.
Yeah.
On, I forgot the little planet was supposed to be named.
Mortis.
Is it Mortis? Okay, I knew it was. I wanted to call it Planet M for some reason, so I guess that's
close,
why.
Yeah.
But they even more so acknowledge it because they were supposed to be like the arbiters of the Force, like the good, the bad, and then the person overlooking it all. I guess the balance. Who's to say that Anakin's descendant veers off course, and so he is brought back, and so we're essentially getting to see what would happen if Vader survived when becoming Anakin again at the end of Episode 6,
which would make the whole story rhyme with itself.
I think that, but it's also this whole idea of having completed thought and always being in this
cycle,
this perpetuous cycle.
Yeah,
is that power will end up being something. But if there are supposed to have a balance, if there is supposed to be prophecies, if there is supposed to be someone who brings an end to the reign of terror, that maybe, at least for the Skywalkers, and this would be, I think, a way of absolutes to say that this is the end of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a comment here. That was a great perspective there, Micah. No. I just wanted to add on to it. No, that was really good.
Thank you.
And then Sarah can wrap us up for the day. Could it be that the true villain in all of this are the Force trees themselves, and they need to be destroyed?
Are you saying if there is no Force trees, there would be no Force?
True.
That is a true statement?
I'm saying that could be a possibility, because that's where it seems it all began.
Is that canonical, though?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. Well, again, I think it drives to the question of, can someone be bad just simply by them existing?
Yeah.
Like, if we're supposed to be this real, like, liberty/freedom based, like, you can have your own decisions kind of thing, like, are we really supposed to scold someone just for existing, causing this and that? It's like, if you go back, could you kill baby Hitler? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's
what equating the Force tree to baby Hitler?
Well, what I'm saying is going off of your premises, if it was the Force trees that essentially caused all this madness,
Yeah.
then I feel like that's a parable of themselves. But people will do bad regardless.
Yeah.
People will do good regardless of the situation. They're still people. I mean, man.
Sarah, is the Force tree equivalent to the baby Hitler?
No. I don't think so. I don't know. Because, I don't know.
I didn't compare
No,
them to
no,
baby
go ahead.
Hitler. I'm saying that was...
Let it out.
No, hold on real quick. I didn't call them baby Hitler. What I said is that removing the Force trees, would that be a similar situation,
It's
like
giving
destroying baby
people
Hitler
means
before
to
it
do
happened?
whatever. It's giving people the power to do whatever. They're going to do with it what they will. Even without it, they're still going to do bad things, I think is what he's trying to say.
Yes.
So, no.
The baby Mussolini.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Well, that was a great show.
We got philosophical there in the end.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had some pictures here. We didn't. Oh, there's one picture before we
Oh,
wrap
yeah.
it up. Because, here you go. Did you see this, Sarah?
You saw it? Yep.
Purple saber.
Seen it.
This is
You piece of garbage.
this is the new
Mm-hmm.
Rey and Dio action figure that came out today
Mm-hmm.
for Triple Force Friday. Black Series Star Wars
I don't know you
from
anymore.
The Rise of Skywalker.
I love
And-
the face.
You what? The face? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a story behind this picture here.
Okay.
You want to show?
Like-
Let's show.
No, you're
Yes.
you're telling it terribly. Well, I was just going to show a picture on the...
Oh, okay. Well, we could do that too. Right. So, was browsing the internet.
But you're cheating because...
Okay,
this is
you tell the story.
No,
You
because
tell
this
the
is a black and white copy.
It is. So just imagine the background.
He shows me that new
Imagine it
toys are
being
being released
purple.
today. He's showing me that new toys
I
are released
know.
today. He says, "Look at the purple lightsaber."
Do you
And-
want a color picture? Because I'm sure I could
Hold
pull
on,
it
no,
up.
hold on, because I know
Okay.
what it looks like. When I'm saying he says, "Look at it, it's a color lightsaber," not realizing, or he realized it, but it's a red background and it's blue. What happens when you?
Aw, lame-o.
And I knew it as soon as I finished the statement, and I knew he also knew too that he was trying to mess with me to insinuate that it was in fact a purple lightsaber, but it was just simply
That's not cool.
the primary color in the background affecting the blue to give it a purple gaze look.
I'm sorry, man.
You're a real piece of work. I think she's gonna get a purple lightsaber in the film somehow, man.
That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that.
How ordinary
It
would
is
that be?
blue.
She has to recreate the lightsaber, so let's just assume that it's to. I mean, they essentially. What's the whole thing like when they're creating they're putting in the kyber crystal and it kind of like conforms to them?
Oh yes.
Like, who's
so
this-
it's clear
Yeah.
until they kind of mesh mold.
So
molded
then, so it wouldn't matter then,
it. Yeah. Like they're kind of like.
unless it turns red.
Wow, it does
Oh.
look purple though. To be fair, it does.
I know, and I took advantage of that.
That's mean.
I know.
God.
It is.
Translucent blue against
You're
a
gonna let me
deep
think
red
that.
background.
I know.
I'm sorry.
But it does.
was-
That's why I was mad, because that's what I'm saying. He showed it to me last night, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "You're a punk."
well, you're more
That's not cool.
animated with your words, but
Because you know that's something that I wanted.
I'm sorry. Well, hopefully we'll see her with the purple lightsaber, anyways.
Or if I see her, any lightsaber take you down.
Oh my God. Well, that could be the case as well.
So
But well, it's time to wrap it up after our little story there, little story, folks.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to do a rap? Like not a rap song,
Oh,
but
okay.
like to
And
wrap
the
up.
W,
This was
are we
a Star
eating
Wars
now?
day, and
Thank God. Okay. This has been episode
5-7.
57 of the Force Choke podcast here from Comics Plus at 5139 Everhart Road,
CCTX.
CCTX
What does that mean?
78411.
I'm Luis.
I'm Stephanie again.
Yes.
And I'm Sarah.
And this was episode 57.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Happy Triple Force Friday.
Yes. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe, YouTube us, email us.
Tim still has a mail slot.
Yes, Tim's mail slot needs to be filled.
It needs to be filled.
Yeah. And Instagram, Facebook. Did I say that?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Sure.
YouTube,
Subscribe.
Instagram,
What else?
Facebook,
What else? Just add
Twitter.
it on. We're everywhere. Find us.
Cash App.
The Force Choke Podcast.
We are Legion. We are everywhere.
We had some great giveaways today. We didn't get to give this one away, but follow Trent Westbrook, official Star Wars artist. We had giveaway gone today from Alamo Draft House. That was given to us from Corpus Christi Comic Con. So make sure you follow them. We had a giveaway from Tumblr from Sunshine's Custom Creations. Make sure you follow them on Facebook as well. So our next event, we'll let you guys know. Hopefully you can get some other cool prizes. We have stickers.
Who's your daddy?
We got artwork. We got
Figures.
action figures. We got all kinds of stuff. Force Choke Podcast official stickers too. But
Magnets.
thanks for watching. Peace out.